Welcome along to the PMRR model railroad. This is a construction update. I think it's number 5. It's during the Christmas holidays just now, just after New Year. I think it's the 3rd or the 4th, but I seem to lose track these days. I go back to work on Monday, so I'm trying to get as much kind of built as possible before then. So what I've done since my last update is I've finished the baseboards basically for Lake Erie Dock, which is what this kind of used to be. It's now going to have a wee change. It's going to have the mine, driftwood mine, is going to sit down the very bottom here because I don't have space for it over this side. So driftwood mine is going to sit in here. And then as we come up here, I've had to lose a few tracks because it was looking too busy. So as we come up here, we're going to hit Iron City Brewing. So we've got a big brewery here, some cars and stuff. And then as we come up to the top end at this part, we're going to have armour packaging, which is going to have cattle pens in this bit here. The tracks aren't going to come as far up, they're going to come at about the back of the drill. Should be like about 4 box cars on each track, some cattle cars on this side. Going to put some cattle pens in here. Slaughterhouse down the back end, and then the packaging plant right down there. Nice big massive building. It's going to sit pretty much where the drill is just now. So that's this side, and then we've got a curve as we come out of the yard, and we curve up round to the top, and I've managed to get almost every board in for Altoon Yard, which is this is what this is actually going to stay as. So as we come down, it's not too bad. In this portion here where it cuts back, this is going to be the engine servicing facility up this end. So there should be 4 tracks. The first 2 are going to go disappear into a shed, the big long one that you can see there, and the next one in. The next one along is going to go to an outside facility, again for diesels, and the one on the very far side here I'm going to set up for steam. I've got a steam Challenger, so it's going to be long enough to fit into there. Small coaling station and a water tower, and it's just really for doing preserved line stuff. As we come off the turn at the top here, we hit the first point, which is a nice curved one, and then we head down the inside line. That's going to be my main line. It runs through right down at the bottom. Then the second line is going to be used for parking up any trains that need shunting and need switched in, need switched out, which is the middle line, which is kind of this one just in there. Then the very outside line, which we can see just snaking round into this portion, is where the trains are going to be built up. Wagons could be taken off of the ones that are incoming and put down into here. And then as we come down, we're going to have a couple of lines just off. I'm kind of hoping for 3, but I'll have to see how it's going to fit in. 2, I'm looking at 2 just now. But they'll just be long dead ends, and that's just going to hold wagons. That's what's going to hold in there. So we've got a little bit of a head shunt here before we hit the points, and then we can build up a train, set it up in here, and get ready to take out. Leaves a clear line. It means all this work can be done while the main line's kind of clear, and people can run out as it stands. So I've got one board. I've got one board here to add in, which we can see. So I've got the last board to add in. I've cut the hole out the bottom section here, and this is to allow me to access to the point motors that are going to sit up in here, because there's going to be 3 point motors just at this portion here. 3 points, sorry, and the points are going to be connected to my CTC machine, which will be operated by a dispatcher from the main line. So as we come off the points here, we're going to have this comes into 1 point through into the end, because this is the lead through to the engine servicing at the back. The middle line is the straight through main line, which is going to run through, and this one here actually is going to go off and curve round into a head shunt down the bottom end for the yard as well, so that's fine. So just as we get to this point here at the end, this is underneath is my passing loop. It comes round in. There's going to be a Y point just up here at this level here, and it's going to turn off that way, which used to be towards the mine, and then come round this way, basically over the top of my switching panel, along the top of here, and then the boards are going to get built all the way down, and this is going to be my Edgar Thomas Steelworks on this side. So the build operation on this side, obviously we've got Bison Yard sitting below it here where everything's kind of starting. So I'm quite pleased with that. Really pleased with the progress I've got so far. So the plan of action next is to get this board here installed. I just need to work out my heights because I need to create a Y junction off it, and I need to make sure I've got clearance at the far end there to have trains running underneath and along this side. But there's going to be a nice hillside over there, and it's going to look like it's going to come through a cutting. So that's the plan for this side. And then in here, as we can see, the two dead end lines are going to continue down into this space here, and that'll give me a bit more space for storing just cars and wagons and things. Getting ready to be switched in, switched out. I'm going to use PMRR for the switching, so I'm quite looking forward to that. It's quite a long lead here from all the way from there, right in the back line there, all the way up to the engine servicing facility. But the reason I've done that was I wanted as much undisturbed track as possible for the main line to come in. So it means I can put an 8-foot train sitting inside the sidings here in undisturbed, and bring my loco out the front, switch it over the two points, which I'll take it in the head shunt, and then take it back onto the train once it's ready. So when we run operating sessions, if anybody brings a visiting locomotive for anything, they'll start off in the engine servicing facility. They'll have to be fueled, cleaned, sanded, all that'll be brought in before they get issued with their train from the switch list. So that works. So everything's coming together well. It's starting to get the wiring in for the other parts and pieces. I've got a back seam to get put on there. Roughly the board height that you can see here is back seam height. And if I lift this up to eye level, for me, that's... So you'll be able to see over the top and see people, but the track at the other side and everything, you won't be able to. So you'll still at least to be not too antisocial. So I need to get that done, front and back. And then the void in the middle is going to be my wiring, which I'll need to go up in between the two trusses, down and along here, and then along the back, because my CTC machine is going to sit against this wall in here, and this is where the dispatcher will sit and operate all the mainline switches. So that'll be quite an interesting wee job there. I'm also going to have it wired in a way that I can switch the CTC machine off, so I'm just in myself. I'm not having to run all the way up there to make a switch to run back, so I can switch it locally. So there's only this point here is going to be switch CTC operated, and then 3 points down the other end of the shard. Everything else in here will be manual thrown. So there's just going to be manual hand throws for that. And it's the same on this side here. The first point that comes off the curve here at this side is it's actually my 4th CTC switch. And then the inside line's the main line, which has got track detection on it, and that'll be visible in the CTC. And then this point here is going to be CTC controlled, but every other point, this one here, and then every other point that comes in the back end here will all be hand thrown. In this area here, I've got a diamond cross, so the track comes up from this point, as you can see below me here, down that way, and then the third line is going to go into a diamond. One side is going to switch back to these two sidings, which will be for the brewery, and the other side, which is just going to continue straight down towards my solder there, that is going to be down into the mine, where I'll have a couple of lines in there to hold empties, and I'm going to use a top loading old style mine building with 3 lines below it, so you can only load a couple at a time, and I'll have lift out loads for these stuff. So the chemical plant that used to be going to go in here is now going to come off. As you come off the Y at the other side there and you come round the top there, the chemical plant is going to sit in up here at height, probably your shoulder, probably just the bottom of this black part, maybe in about here somewhere. I've not got a lot of space in this part here. When it comes to it, the shed's only 9 foot wide, so I've kind of managed it the best I can to keep my aisles reasonable and give me enough shelf space as I possibly can. So the mine is the main thing, and the steelworks are the 2 main things on this layout, operational wise, that I want to run in the wagons and the stuff that I've got. So I thought there's no point in trying to stuff a mine in the corner there. I've got a bit of space, I can put it in here. So I'm going to create a full hillside in here. This is going to come through a cutting, and then it's going to cut right up to the top, and then I'll put a chemical plant on top of the hill up there. So I'll just have a couple of sidings in there and a long head shunt. That'll just allow me to switch a couple of tank cars out, and gives me gives me something else there to run, another different type of car. So it's fully coming on, really pleased with it. I've got another 3 days until I go back to work, 3 or 4 days till I go back to work, so hopefully I can get the bottom board done and get the track in around the corner, at least the main line. That's the plan. Then I had bought all the points to do all this area here, but I've kind of changed my mind and I want to get the main line in, and then everything off it I can work it later. That allows my CTC to get kind of designed and built, and I can get that installed. And then the track on the inside is all hand thrown anyway, so it doesn't require point motors or switches or anything like that, so I can literally just wire that as required. Aye, thanks for watching. If you have any comments or any update, anything you'd like to see or like to know what I do, please just let me know. Hopefully you like the video and you can maybe drop a wee like in it and maybe hit the subscribe button. Take it easy, have a good new year, all the best for 2023. Cheers, bye.